Deathstroke number 11, folks. Well, it's the commentary on gun violence. It takes place in Chicago. It doesn't really star Deathstroke, which is okay. I really loved seeing the Dennis Cowan artwork. Very enjoyable, very well drawn comic. Christopher Priest, of course, does a really good job, as he always does. And I'll just give you a really quick synopsis. A young lady has a car trouble as she's going to get drugs for her boss or something, white lady, and has a couple of young black men come up and try and help her, and she mistakes it and kind of goes and shoots somebody. So it's the creeper here who's like looking into all this and whatnot, and then these folks sort of hired these ladies hired Deathstroke to go knock all these guys off, basically. And by the end, you figure out that this is not, in fact, Deathstroke, but it is a priest, a dejected priest who's sort of angry about everything going on. And if people aren't going to help and cops aren't going to help, then he's going to take it into his own hands. And in the end, Deathstroke takes him out, basically because he's not for that, and just because he's just being Deathstroke, you know, that's what kind of the character he is. He's a cold-hearted, good character, very interesting because he's not a hero by any means, and just because he's the lead of a title doesn't mean he's a hero, which is really the hugest draw to me because it's like, you know, there's a million comics out there with a hero and so on, or even an anti-hero, but there's not too many being led by a straight-up villain. So I got to give this one pretty good marks with the you know, they had this sort of thing going. I don't even know what numbers it was because I definitely got confused and slightly had lost interest in the one where he was losing his sight. The Twilight storyline wasn't really doing a lot for me. But a lot of what's going on with Deathstroke has been really, really good. And this is from, you know, like pretty much my 90s nostalgia series because I personally love that shit. So I just have to give it high, huge marks. It has that style for anybody who loves the gritty, grimy, violent comics. It's just cool, man. It's just cool. How about that? Let's keep it simple. It's fun. It's fun, folks. So I give it high marks. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Do yourself a favor, go check out Deathstroke and go get some of those graphic novels or some of those issues, single ones, and enjoy Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. Should be fine. Should be an enjoyable enough day. It should be a bunch of people coming into a comic book shop who will never go in again for the whole year and never actually support the industry, but just get a whole bunch of free stuff and make it a cluttered mess and don't do anything really substantial in a positive light. Also, all the comics that come out for Free Comic Book Day are usually crappy, and I don't even know why they do that, because it's like, you know, you're trying to get people and appeal to them, and why don't you just, this is your chance. But they understand. Honestly, if it was me, I'd just choose my number one selling comic of the last year, or the number one you want to be selling this time, and just give that one. That's very well done, because that might actually get people to want to check it out. And I wouldn't be giving them tidbits of stories like what they do. That's not logical. People want a full, just give them a full, like, or either an anthology with a bunch of little short stories, or give them a full one-off 22-page stories. You can pull people in really quickly, and all of a sudden they'd say, hey, this is really cool. Or if you give them the shitty one, they'll say, hey, this sucks. I see why I don't buy these. You know, I don't know, man. In particular, I find Marvel and DC's are very lacking, very uncool. They don't do a very good job with their Free Comic Book Day stuff. They just don't, for whatever reason. They just don't. But that's okay. Valiant has a bunch of little short ones. They actually create new material for it, so they do a good job. Image usually has one of the better ones. A lot of the other little random presses, I don't really get too much joy out of. I actually have been surprised. Archie did a good job, and a lot of the English stuff is very good. So hopefully 2000 AD is a good one this year. Take care, people. Adios.